Well, hello for the final time here at EML. Of course, JGM, Alex Heron, wrong way, there you go. We're here, we're hyped. Yes, the championship's been decided for constructors, but there's still an absolute beautiful trophy for the drivers yet to go. And around a circuit like Yas Marina, after its changes, Alex, I thoroughly enjoy watching races around here. Could we be in for an absolute cracker?
Well, I mean, Abu Dhabi, not necessarily known for its best races.
No. You've got to match my energy here. Are you
Abu
ready
Dhabi,
for
I
an
am ready,
absolute
Josh.
cracker?
Josh, I'm ready for a cracker because you know what? We've had some bangers of races around here, especially since the changes to the track. You know, 2021, what a great race it was.
Fantastic.
2022 was amazing. I'm sure it was.
Right. I can remember.
23 was really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah, sure.
And then,
we're going with it.
If we go back before the changes, 2016, what a banger of a race that was.
Yeah, but that's
2010. Who forgets when Fernando Alonso was held up by a Russian?
Vitaly Petrov.
Yes, that one.
Again, wrong circuit.
Wrong circuit.
Well,
actually, speaking of Russian, Daniel Kvyat raced an AI car around there yesterday.
Did you see
lost.
the AI cars?
Yes, he lost.
Yes, but on the same note, they did a Lance Stroll.
They did, yes.
It goes to show that if they just put our drivers here from EML into the AI car and let them drive it remotely, it'll be in better and safer hands, and probably quicker hands as well, to be quite honest with you, because we've got some very quick drivers here with us today. I hope you enjoyed that little segue we just pulled off. But no, there we go. We've got the
I'm
drivers.
out of energy, mate. That was it.
No, you're not.
That was everything I had.
No,
I'm not. I'm joking, Josh. I'm full of energy, mate.
Damn right.
I'm going to take a swig of my drink.
Yes, absolutely. Get that Diet Coke down you, because we do have the lineup graphic on the screen at the moment. Yes, the championship's all wrapped up, but Tony Roche still in with a chance to try and beat Zach Miles for the Drivers' Championship. He's got a lot of people rooting for him, but that isn't the only big announcement we've got here today. Well,
jazz hands. Get your jazz hands out.
Get your jazz hands. Drum roll.
Get your jazz hands out
in the chat. I'm not sure how you do a drum roll, but
I can do a drum roll.
We do have a fantastic announcement of TML. Now, for those of you who aren't aware what TML is, it is a console platform league here, right? But it includes both Xbox and PlayStation. There's none of that finicky, you've got to be on this right console. It's inclusive. Both platforms can sign up. And the sign-ups open on the 31st of May and will close on the 28th of June for F1 24. It's certainly going to be a fantastic initiative, trying to get people in, trying to come and race. And of course, all the live streams will be here as well on this beautiful League Racing TV channel, where you're currently finding this EML stream. And there's going to be a little bit of a trickery at play here, Alex.
Yep, there will be, of course, carrying on with Josh's statement about this. There's going to be an initial interest form released in the next couple of weeks to engage interest and allow for you to vote on what days you'd like to race. So say if you want to race on a Monday, you can vote for a Monday, or you want to race on a Sunday like today, you can race on a Sunday. However you want to do it, it's down to the community vote. And the calendar will be discussed by league directors once interest forms have been conducted. So when those interest forms come out, get on them, get engaging, and we can get another great season coming up soon, I'm sure, when the new game comes out. And hopefully, fingers crossed, everyone, that the new game will be stellar. Yep, I'm from the 90s.
Absolutely. I can see Casper Priest again saying, all right, we meet again then, Josh. Certainly we do, Casper. It's a pleasure to have you join us here. But we move over to the driver standings. We can see Zach Miles leading the way, bang on 100 points. There's not going to be a better looking standings than this. Then we've got Jerne Donvan in second with 91 points. But unfortunately, Jerne isn't racing here today. Tony Roche, P3. Otso P4, Jensen P5, of course the one who makes the magic happen behind the scenes, loads all the lobbies, gets everything all prepped for us. Again, huge hats off to Jensen, even if he does forget to invite me every single time to...
And me.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You know what, we'll let him off.
I'm outraged. No, I want to get this out on them. I'm outraged. No, I'm not. No. It's very nice to invite us.
Just to clarify the results there for the championship standings, you can see nice and clearly on your screens, hopefully. Well, TF10 champions by almost 100 points. Will they be able to somewhat try and breach that 100-point mark? You never know.
I reckon so. They've got two very fast drivers.
Yes, if Tony Roche is able to somewhat get a challenge moving slightly further up to try and push themselves into contention here for what could certainly be a very entertaining race, especially considering this driver's standings is still up for debate. An awful lot of potentially drastic moments can happen in this solo championship fight. But without further ado, you will have to apologise for the black screen here. Hold on. Just wait for it. We've got drivers out on track. And
There
of
is.
course, it's going to be a fascinating race. I cannot wait for this one.
Tyler Freeman is out first in the Sauber. He's going for a lap. Well, he's going to go for a lap shortly. He'll probably be our first driver to go for a lap. This will be the last time I actually commentate it as, well, obviously calling it Sauber, but obviously we know it's not Sauber, but for legal reasons we have to call it Sauber.
I mean, I'm not sure whether the legal reasons apply here. I'm not sure they got the warning. So, for the last time...
Should we call it Alfa Romeo?
I feel like, for old time's sake, we should probably call it Alfa
What?
Romeo.
This will be the last time I call Alfa Romeo, because I think this is my last commentary of F1 23. That's a lie. But, you know, it's my last commentary of EML season.
Yes.
Because I just remembered I do a Saturday commentary, which is still going on.
It's still going on for a little bit longer, but for the last
Another
time
4
at
rounds.
EML, we'll be seeing the Alfa Romeos take to the track. Of course, not the Kick Sauber Formula 1 car. It'll be the beautiful liveried Alfa Romeo car. As we can see, Tyler Freeman, the NLR driver, going for some dark arts, breaking the braking markers, heading into turn 1. I'm sure if the stewards were going to be very, very harsh, they would already slap a grid penalty on for Tyler here, but... with things coming to an end here, we can only hope the stewards are going to be a little bit more lenient as we see Tyler now getting a great run out of turn 5, despite a couple of cars in front of him, picking up a little bit of a cheeky slipstream. You can see the DRS of the car in front, trying to just give him a little bit more of a tow before his teammate moves over to the left-hand side so he can pinpoint the braking zone.
Oh, no.
Runs it a little bit deep and picks up the invalidation there. And unfortunately for Tyler, that'll be the end of his first run here.
Well, it was a nice attempt with the slipstream, but I think he overcooked it. Is
Maybe.
the best way to explain it.
No comment.
Just realised. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm being blinded behind me because the sun is coming through quite. It's been horrible in England all day, and when we start commentating in the evening, the sun is just blaring through the window. It is meant to be the Great British Summertime, so I'm not surprised.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest with you, it's been lovely weather here, very similar to what we see here in Abu Dhabi. For me, it's been reaching almost 20 degrees outside. It was fantastic.
Almost 20 degrees.
Got to sit outside, get a little bit of sun, of course, fill myself up with a little bit of a vitamin D. Not from the sunlight, I was just drinking Sunny D. I'm not sure if other countries even have Sunny D.
I don't even know. Oh, of course I do.
It's the concentrated orange juice, which is like filled with just like pure vitamin D, and that was like their entire selling point. You don't.
I wouldn't know. I don't have enough
juice.
vitamin D in my body.
It's like gamer orange juice. That's the best
gamer orange juice.
Yes.
We should point out at this point, for legal reasons, that other gamer orange juice is available.
No, I don't think we should.
We have to mention every brand, Josh, because then we're not committing to one, so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Well,
but we are seeing.
You've said it now.
I certainly have. I put us in the mud over here at EML, but
we've
got more drivers completing their first laps around here, and given the nature of a circuit in a desert, you know, you got the sand, you got the dust, all of it being washed over the circuit. It's going to be imperative for these drivers to be able to get a solid first lap in, so when the track starts to evolve, they'll know the braking points, they'll be able to carry a little bit more momentum, a little bit more speed, push the limits of what these tyres are really capable of, because around here you can gain so much just by leaning into the car a little bit more than what you would necessarily be able to do otherwise.
Yeah, you know what? I think Abu Dhabi gets a lot of stick, Josh. And rightly so before the changes, because I feel like before the changes, we can both agree that this circuit wasn't very good.
I thoroughly disagree, but okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You thoroughly disagree? Where would you, if you were going to rate this on the helmet Marco scale, I always say that wrong. If you were going to rate this on the
Tilke scale,
where does it rate? Is it more towards, say, Malaysia at the top, or is it more towards Sochi at the bottom?
Firstly, that scale is wrong.
Okay, what's top then?
Probably Malaysia.
Okay, what's bottom?
Probably Miami.
Did he design Miami?
I do believe he did.
Okay, maybe we should do a round or something like helmet tilker or no tilker, and we would know. But
No,
If
for me, Sochi, Abu Dhabi, A-tier tracks. Thoroughly enjoy them.
Really?
Really.
What for? Okay, let's put this into perspective. Is that for watching in the F1 game, or is that for real life racing?
Both.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of it going around, even when it was the Mercedes dominance around the likes of Sochi. I always thought it added something just to be able to have somewhat of a more of a driver's circuit on the calendar, where it wasn't necessarily built for close racing. It was built for trying to maximise the potential of the cars. And I feel like that's something that the likes of Sochi and the likes of the old Abu Dhabi did really, really well. Now this Abu Dhabi's been somewhat changed and altered slightly further to try and incorporate a bit more racing, and at the sacrifice, they've got rid of some of the more technical and challenging corners, thinking towards that very awkward chicane before entering Sector 3. It did make it impossible to overtake in Sector 3, but is it any easier to overtake in Sector 3 now? No. You've just made it really easy in Sector 1 and Sector 2.
You just made it easier to follow through Sector 3, which is what was the issue. But of course, the new generation of cars is a lot easier to follow anyway. So it's just one of those things anyway. But yeah, on Abu Dhabi, I think it's now a decent racetrack. It's probably, probably halfway on the Tilke scale, as we see two cars going to the pit lane at the same time there. The Haas and I believe it's the Red Bull, I want to say. Yes, it was. It was the Red Bull. I got that correct. But Josh, in terms of if you're looking at race winners around here, of course, this is our first time here for EML this season, racing in Abu Dhabi. But in terms of winners, Mercedes dominated this track in the turbo hybrid era. So from 2014 to, I believe, 2020, they won every single race.
Yeah, remind me again, who won in 2020?
That was Max Verstappen.
And then in 21?
It depends who you ask, but from my perspective, it's Max Verstappen.
I mean, it would make sense. He won the title there.
Yeah.
22?
Max Verstappen.
23?
That's a tricky one. I'm gonna go with punt because I'm not sure. It's guesswork.
Okay.
I think it's Max Verstappen again.
Well, you would be correct. So we could assume that if your name is Max Verstappen or you're in a Mercedes car, you should be winning around here, which puts a little bit more pressure on the Shizou drivers of Mattia Ferrari and Jensen Randall.
Yeah, because Ferrari have never won here in the history of Abu Dhabi.
Despite having an amusement park just off the apex of Turn 5.
We started racing here in 2010. It's now the year 2023, 4.
Yes.
And and we've and Ferrari have never picked up a victory here.
No.
The closest they got was Fernando Alonso in 2010, but unfortunately a Russian in a Renault decided he wasn't going to win that day.
Well, maybe they should do a better job at trying to get past the Lotus Renault at the time. But we've got drivers now going back out for the second runs, presumably on a fresh set of tyres. 8 minutes 30 left to go in the session. We've still got plenty of time. There's no rush. Because of these track changes, the lap times have drastically decreased. It's almost as if they've got rid of a load of braking points for these drivers to try and negotiate themselves around. So, they can get back into the pits, keep repeating the cycle. The question is, do you need an extra preparation lap around this circuit? Do you need that to burn off the extra fuel, to get yourself really into the zone, and potentially try and orchestrate a little bit of a slipstream with your teammate, as we've seen the NLR drivers do once again here, and it gets Tyler Freeman up into P7, fantastic lap time from him. But the driver to keep an eye on, Zach Miles, current Drivers' Championship leader, looking to defend from Tony Roche here. Tony needs a big point haul, and he needs a little bit of misfortune to come Zach's way. But you got to say, when Zach has been racing here, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, he certainly has. And, in Abu Dhabi, a lot of title deciders have gone down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. And you know what, Josh? I'm going to say it. A lot of miracles have happened around this circuit in the past. So maybe Tony Roche can get himself a miracle here in Abu Dhabi. But he's a very fast driver, and I don't know if he'll need one. But you can see Zach Miles has got his DRS slipstream from his teammate. This is great teamwork. I love to see this because, previous lap, they made it so Tyler got the slipstream off of Zach, and now this lap, Zach's got the slipstream from Tyler. And that's how a team should operate, Josh. It's all about teamwork here in Formula One.
Absolutely. Not only that as well, but understanding the predicament that Zach Miles is in, trying to hold off a rampaging Tony Roche, he's going to need a little bit more help to really try and push it a little bit further, just to make sure he can make it safely at the top of a championship, to get himself that trophy and get his name written into the history books here at EML. Certainly, a little bit of help from Tyler Freeman won't go unnoticed. I can think of almost an identical scenario where a driver's fighting for an individual driver's championship, and their teammate comes to great aid, to say the very least.
Oh, like Lewis Hamilton in 2016 when he helped Nico Rosberg win his first driver's title.
Yeah.
That's how that went down, right? Lewis
when he was backing everyone into the pack, and Nico Rosberg saw an opportunity to lunge on a very young Max Verstappen. Went down his inside.
Genuinely one of my favorite moves of all time. That, because if you look at it in hindsight, 9 times out of 10, Max hits you in that corner because he's 18 years old at that point, 19 years old. He's already been classified as a little bit of a crash monkey in his top car. So I mean, it was a move. It was a word I'm not allowed to say kind of move into that corner. It wasn't really an overtaking spot either, because you get the second dosage of DRS down this straight, which Zach Miles is on currently. So he did a very good job. And then I think there was another race where another teammate helped hold him up, but I can't remember what it was. It probably wasn't that memorable then, Josh.
No,
nothing comes to mind.
I've got one.
Oh yeah?
The fantastic race when Kimi Räikkönen was helped by his engineering staff, telling him, "Okay, don't worry, we'll just completely take over all the frequencies so they can't communicate, because we'll just keep holding the button for Kimi to turn around and say, no, it's quite okay. I'm capable of winning this one solely with my own ability. I don't need you guys to start malfunctioning with the radios. We can do this. Very well behaved."
He said it just like that as well.
Yeah, he was very polite, I believe.
He was very polite.
He was very, very polite. As we do see Tony Roche picking up a little bit of a slipstream there from his TF10 counterpart in Dustin Vincent, which again can be so pivotal around this track. Trying to get yourself any form of a lap time needs a good run with a little bit of slipstream going all the way from turn 5 to turn 6. It is a very long straight, and it is great to see the drivers and the teams working together in cohesion to be able to pull off the best possible result in qualifying.
It's a great middle sector from Tony Roche. He's 3/10 up, Josh, on his previous lap time. That is enough currently as it stands to get pole position, but he's got another sector to get through here. The final sector, the very changed final sector. A lot of wide open corners. Watch out, you can crash here on the right-hand side, but luckily I've never seen anyone do it. Going through now the final sector. One final corner to go here. As you get the power down, where can Tony Roche put his car? It's on pole position, or provisional pole, Josh. He said 21.1. 2/10 faster than Zach Miles.
I would say it's a surprise, but it's not. It's Tony Roche at the end of the day, isn't it? He is phenomenal when he gets into one of these cars, and he's able to work a little bit of magic, of course, with a little bit of help from Dustin Vincent. He's able to put himself up towards the top of the timing sheets at the very top by almost 2 whole tenths of a second to Zach Miles and Justin in P2 and P3 respectively. TF10 certainly looking like, well, you might even say it's a championship drive.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Go on, say
Championship drive.
Say what you said behind the scenes before we went live.
What?
I don't think Tony Roche is going to win. Were the words which came out of your mouth?
I don't think I said that.
Yes, you did.
Josh is putting words in my mouth. Tony, if you're listening, I did not say that.
You did. Tony, I promise you, I would not lie to you. Alex is rooting for Zach.
Josh is a renowned liar.
I'm going to be completely transparent. Tony, I'm going to be on board with you, mate. I'm rooting for you. Zach, I hope you have a great race. But I think Tony wins. I hope Tony wins.
I'm on the neutral grounds here. I was in Abu Dhabi 21.
Oh yeah, absolutely perfectly neutral, right, okay.
Yeah, I was the most neutral that day, honestly. Oh.
I don't know, I feel like there's some questions which might need to be asked about your allegiancy.
My neutrality.
Yeah, especially towards Zach Miles as well, because I know you are quite a big fan of his driving. As Tony Roche calls it there, retires in the pit lane, doesn't think he's able to improve.
Well, I don't think he'd get out again, Josh. There's 2 minutes 20 left on the clock. I don't think he'd get out again. Zach Miles has only just come out of the pit lane. So it's now down to him. What can he do in his Alfa Romeo to get himself up onto provisional pole? Tyler Freeman, going through that first sector, going to be using his teammate once again for a little bit of slipstream, Josh.
Of course, we do love to see it, don't we? A little bit of team cohesion. Once again, it seems every single team is looking to try and employ a little bit of a DRS trade, a little bit of a slipstream to try and help pull the car along. But this time, have you noticed that Zach Miles didn't open his DRS until he got really far down the straight to try and give Tyler as big of a little, well, as much air to be dispersed so he can get a better slipstream with less air resistance, following closely behind his teammate. Fantastic feat of engineering, fantastic little bit of ingenuity from the NLR team, as we're going to see Tyler now chucking it in towards the new turn 9. It is so easy to lose the rear around here. I know firsthand I've lost a rear quite a few times through there by trying to push the car a little bit too hard, but of course we're not going to see any of that here today because these guys are the real deal. Tyler Freeman now challenging it through turn 14. Again, the wall on the right hand side is a lot closer than it would appear, but he's able to navigate it perfectly fine, not even trying to risk on the track limits. Very smart if he's able to leave a little bit of time in the pocket. We've got a minute left in the session, up into P6, but now comes probably one of the most crucial roles that Tyler can play. He's going to have to try and move out of the way of the rest of the field to give his friend, his teammate, a championship protagonist here, Zach Miles, a slipstream heading all the way down from turn 5 to turn 6. So for the final lap, let's ride on board with Zach Miles. Hey, Alex.
Yeah, I'm riding on board with him. So through turn 1, through a left-hander there, you've got to brake a lot later than you think. And now getting the power on through this middle sector, pretty much flat out through this, through the first sector, and then crossing the first sector time, and he's only about 20 thousandths down on his previous lap time. Getting that braking point absolutely perfect, getting the acceleration out of the corner. Now we've got our teammate in front of us here, but they're going to give us a nice little slipstream. DRS not enabled for Tyler Freeman, enabled right towards the end of the lap, and now moves out of the way and now into the braking point. You've got to get this absolutely perfect. Clonk the curb on the left and then clonk the one on the right. Unsettles the car slightly, but you get a nice exit over the curbs. DRS enabled once again as we come down the back straight, heading towards the final sector of the lap. Through the new sweeping left-hander, slightly up on your lap time. 63 thousandths up in the middle sector. So, final sector time through these very opened up corners, through the right-hander, braking zone, very awkward braking for zone, but he's got it absolutely perfect. Switching to the left-hander now, going through the final couple of corners. Careful not to invalidate here on the right-hand side. You've got a car in your way, but moves right on the last second. That might have cost that a little bit of time through the final right-hander. Has he pulled a good enough lap time for pole position? And he has, by a couple of thousandths of a second. Zach Miles is on pole position ahead of Tony Richet, and he's on pole for the final time this season here in EML.
Yeah, ridiculous lap time there from Zach Miles, breaking into the 21 zeros. Fantastic stuff from him, being able to put a 10th between himself and Tony Richet. But we do have some more cars coming up towards the line here. We've got Thomas Baldra there rolling the car through. Clearly not happy with his lap and clearly having a bit of fuel issues. But I do believe that'll be everyone who was potentially on a fast lap. Okay, Danico didn't decide to finish his lap. He decided to be friends with the sponsor barricade for F123.
Well, I mean, it's the last time he's going to see the barrier, so I thought with F123 on it. So
you could have just been nice and said it would be the last time he would have seen the barrier in his career. But no, you had to put F123 on the end, didn't you?
Well, it literally has F123 on it.
Danny is never going to hit another barricade in any sim racing game.
No, you won't, Danny. And I'm sorry I didn't say that. And I apologise.
Hashtag enjoy ET8. That's what we do.
Hashtag enjoy ET8.
But with that being said, Zach Miles on pole with Tony Richet alongside him. This could have fireworks written all over it for this first sector.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, just both ABS drivers in the AvTauri in 3rd and 4th behind. So they just need to watch this fight unfold in front of them, and they can get a nice little teamwork going on. Tyler Freeman sandwiched between the two Red Bulls. So he needs to get up there and try and help his teammate out. Qualifying very much like another teammate who was in a championship battle in the year 21.
Yep, and of course we do have the final qualifying order. Alex, would you care to do us the honours of running through it one more time?
Yes, I will. Zach Miles on pole position by 88 thousandths of a second from Tony Richet, and then it's Justin. It's got Marco, Nick, Tyler, Thomas, Jensen, Otso, Dustin, Matteo,
yep.
Justin, Mattia, Guti, Danny Daniels, Alu, and Rene Aiden,
There we go.
Aiden, Alessandro, and Danico.
We'll ignore you said Alu instead of Alexu. That's completely fine, of course.
That's what it says to me.
Well, I suppose...
My dyslexic brain read it as how I said it.
Well, there's one final opportunity we'll be able to play an advert, but for those of you at home, I don't feel like we're going to be able to pull it off right now. I'll be quite honest. The tension's high, the hype is building. The last thing we want to do is chuck an advert straight in. I feel like it's only fair to let it run through to the race start with the 5 red lights getting underway. It should be fireworks. It should be exciting. It should be a great finale here at EML. Just put me in, coach. I'm excited.
Put me in. Drop me in.
Put me in. And I'll tell you what, we can have a little bit of a peep here as well at the race director. We can see a couple of them opting for the hards. A couple of mediums. Tyler Freeman on the softs, looking to cause a little bit of disruption. Maybe trying to get back up to the rear of Tony Richet and force him back a little bit. You know, I heard a 7-time world champion try to do that in 2016 and it didn't quite work out.
It certainly didn't, no. He wasn't a 7-time world champion then either.
Very true.
He was only a 4-time world champion.
Yeah.
No, that's not maths. He was a 3-time world champion. 2008, 2014, 2015. Yeah. And then he didn't win 2016 because, I don't know if you know this, but Nico Rosberg beat him in equal machinery.
So has George Russell and Jenson Button, but they're never talked about.
No, because they didn't win a championship
bias.
against
German
They didn't win a
bias.
championship against him.
I mean, Jensen did, technically.
Also, they don't
Okay.
mention it every stream they're on, unlike Nico does. So, yeah, I'm starting beef with Rosberg. Come on, come at me, Rosberg.
Please don't. I actually quite like Nico Rosberg. I think he's brilliant.
I really like Nico Rosberg's commentary actually. So please, Rosberg, he's not watching.
Charity boxing
To be
match.
honest.
Deflink 10 versus
Deflink versus
Formula 1
Rosberg.
2016 World Drivers Champion Nico Rosberg.
Oh well, I mean, talk about a battle for the ages. He'd stiff me. I'd be done.
It'd do what to you?
He'd stiff me in the face.
I think we call that a jab.
A jab.
Oh dear. Right.
No,
well,
it's a British slang, brother.
let me guess. Deflink 10's gonna run wild on me too, huh? Brother.
What you gonna do? Do-da-do. Do-da-do.
Oh, well, if you've never been to an EML stream, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We just sit here and wait.
Yeah, it's just literally, I'm watching some people celebrate in the crowd and there's nothing going on. But what we have now, Josh, is 1, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5 red lights as we get underway for the final here of the EML. And it's a great start from our pole sitter, Zach Miles, as he keeps the lead into turn 1, followed by Tony Richet, and then the 2 Alpha Tauris battling wheel to wheel, just in front of Marco there. But they still go wheel to wheel, the 2 Alpha Tauris, and they are battling tooth and nail. So we got an Alpine off the road as well. But it's Zach Miles who leads Tony Richet. A bit of a move there from Nico. He jumps in front of one of the Alpha Tauris along with Tyler Freeman. We got a Ferrari spinning at the back. Guti is round. He's down to 20th. As now Ferrari's luck continue around this circuit. But down one of the back straights here. The Red Bull of Nico into third place as he dives down the inside of Tony Richet. And Richet's round.
Oh, and we had
Richet
a
round.
full wide moment further back. This is giving shades back to Interlagos, where we saw Sebastian Vettel spin on his opening lap. Hopefully, for Tony Richet, he's not been able to pick up damage. He's been able to continue the race there in P12. With the majority
Oh,
of
Justin's
fields-
into the wall. He's out.
Oh my word, everything is happening. Tyler Freeman's found himself up into P3 while all this is going on. We've got a virtual safety car. Perhaps it's time just for everything to settle down here just a little bit.
Safety car, full safety car.
Full safety car. Right, I'm going to take this opportunity here to try and fix my microphone because it's doing the funny thing.
Oh my lord.
Right, hold on.
Jensen's out as well.
Oh, stop. I don't... Right, we'll have a look at the carnage in just a second.
Oh god, there's a lot of decent going on, Josh.
Is there?
Yeah, people are jumping about.
Right, okay. With all
It's
the
an LR 2, by the way.
Yeah, I've just noticed. With all the jumping about going on, Tyler Freeman certainly had a little jump, hasn't he? Jumping all the way up into P2. Brilliant stuff. I mean, we're looking slightly further down as well. Also up into P7. Just Nayert's up into P8. Tony Roche, of course, having that little issue. He's down in P9. But with Jensen and Dustin Vincent already out of this race, that could have some serious implications to the remainder of this Grand Prix. Especially now, Tony Roche doesn't have a teammate to help him.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Roche's teammate out on the opening lap. Tony Roche spun round the opening lap, falls down to 9th place. So this has been quite the start. Just want to point out that Mays told our drivers, good luck and keep it clean, please. I think it lasted about 5 corners.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean,
maybe.
We sit there, you know, we consider everything which happened during that first sector, right? We had an Alpine going wide. How's Rene been able to find himself up into P11?
I mean, he's had a great start. I mean, it's a wizard of a start. But yeah, a wizard of a start. It is. Yes, it is. I don't know if you know. I speak English. So Tony Roche in 9th right now. Now, unlike Sebastian Vettel in Brazil 2012, he didn't fall to the back of the grid and doesn't have damage. As I just saw again, another desync there. It looked like Zach Miles almost went straight into the back of.
Okay.
Oh, at this point, we should talk about the F123 game.
So, just to remind everyone, this isn't the league. This isn't us. This isn't a connection problem. It's the game.
The game, yes. So F123 is going to be biting the dust very soon. Can't
wait purely because of these moments.
I've said this on every broadcast I've done this week.
I know.
I've said.
Again.
Nope. I'm going to say it for other people. I'm going to say I've really enjoyed the racing we've had in all the leagues we've commentated. No, it's not a run. It's not a run. I'm saying it's not. I'm saying every league we've had great racing, good wheel-to-wheel battles, but the bugs have killed the experience of F123. That's what I'm going to say. What, the hype?
Well, I'm just saying, if cars weren't teleporting, we'd actually be able to understand who's where, because currently on their screens at the moment, they might find themselves in a different position, which could be costly for a potential championship battle. The last thing you want to see is the final classification and finding out that Tony Roche thought he did enough and he was cruising around in P2, only to find out he's finished P7.
Yeah, I mean...
Exactly. It's horrible. It's horrible for us as commentators. It's horrible for the drivers to experience. Let alone
for you to watch as well.
Yeah, let alone trying to get an overtake sorted somewhere on track and have a car just teleport through you or into you. I mean, I saw it slightly earlier in this week at a broadcast around Qatar where one of the cars went underneath another car.
Yeah, I had that during a race. I was racing around Monaco and cars desynced into each other and someone managed to take the lead through a desync.
Incredible. Well, here we go. Safety car restart. Lap 3. Tyler Freeman on a fresh-ish set of soft tyres.
Why didn't he pit?
I'll tell you why. Let's just back up the field. It's okay. Back it up. Take it easy. You don't need to necessarily try and come home with a P2. You need to help Zach Miles win the Drivers' Championship. And one of the best ways he can do that is by backing up this field. And you can see it right now. 1.5 seconds, 1.8 seconds. He's going to be going all the way at the maximum to his delta. The question for me remains, will the desync interfere with his potential cosplay of the Mexican Minister of Defense, as we do see him teleporting all over the place?
I mean, that's a good way to defend. You can't pass someone if they're teleporting.
But you can pass someone at mid-teleport, as we see Zach Miles getting underway there, and Tyler Freeman backing up the field a little bit to give himself a little bit of breathing room. So Tyler now could potentially have a great opportunity to try and maybe even go for an overtake on Zach Miles. But I'm sure the NLR engineers there will be calling for anything but that to happen. They just want a great rear gunner here for Zach, so he can try and bring home the trophy.
Josh, he doesn't look like he's being a rear gunner.
No, it seems like he's just being a gunner.
He's into the lead as he takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here in the final round ahead of Zach Miles. But doesn't it really make sense? You know, Josh, he's going to run out. Those soft tyres are going to run out eventually. But maybe they're trying to do some slipstream trading.
Maybe, but It would require an awful lot of battery deployment from Zach Miles to get that overtake sorted, as we do see Thomas Baldwin get him a move sorted, and Matteo Piccolo also make him a move past Nick Arau. So we can potentially see a couple of these drivers deploying a little bit more battery than their counterparts are currently fighting for position, understanding how critical it will be to try and intervene and try and get in between both these NLR drivers, because if they're allowed to cruise up at the front 1-2 at the minute, it could be very, very costly for the potential chance for other drivers to be able to try and squeeze themselves into that top 2. Again, if they end up breaking the DRS as well, that's a whole different ball game around this circuit.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I mean, this track, you know, Josh, in previous years, it feels like it takes an age to get around it. But because of the shortened nature of the circuit, these laps will fly by. We're already on lap 4 here of 29. I mean, we've had, what, 3 laps behind the safety car, 2 laps behind the safety car. So, I mean, we're going to be flying through this quite quickly. I'm watching Tony Richet right now. He's actually just got in front of Otso, who's made a little mistake in the final corner. Tony Richet's got to try and make some moves here if he's got any chance of trying to pick up that driver's title section.
Yes, and we know how well Tony Richet can perform under pressure. Diamonds are often made under pressure, but at the minute, Tony Richet is just a little bit of carbon. Will be able to compress himself enough to be that shining jewel we know he can be, to try and reclaim what could potentially be a phenomenal championship under his belt at the end of this game's life cycle. Something for him to work forward to and really try and build on for the next game as well, because he's a driver with a lot of potential. It's just a matter of fact now, will stuff start falling into order for him, or will he end up having to play this slow, methodical game as we're seeing the cars once again teleporting, even more so than they were before. We see a couple of teleport overtakes where Matteo used /TP in front of Nick to get himself up into P5, and he's going to be looking to cruise up to the back of Marco in the AlphaTauri, the ABS driver.
Wait, where do you see Nick right now?
Oh no, I see Nick in P6.
I see him in the P6 as well. You said P5, so I was confused.
No, Matteo teleported in front of Nick to get P5.
Oh, got you.
Right, there we go.
Sorry, that's not the game problem. That's me not listening. That's what the issue is.
You never listened to me. You
What?
didn't even listen to me roast you earlier.
What did you say?
Huh? Pardon?
Sorry? Hello?
Oh, honestly, you're terrible. But
Thomas is fallen out of DRS range already, so I think NLR might have this one covered, Josh.
yes, certainly so. They look to be working very effectively together. Tyler's still offering that little bit of DRS where it's needed to Zach Miles. And now Zach Miles has somewhat got a little bit of free reign to recharge the battery here.
Yeah, I mean, he can just sort of chill behind Gunny right now. The soft tyre, of course, faster at this stage of the Grand Prix, so they're using the soft tyres to their advantage for their team. So basically, Tyler is pulling along Zach, and then when Tyler's tyres drop off, Zach will take the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Thomas and Marco here working together. The Red Bull and its sister team, as you would expect, working in perfect unison, as we see Marco having a little bit of a slide heading into the braking zone, which I'm sure Thomas would not like to see. He doesn't need this. They just need to work together effectively. And now, is that going to add a little bit of a seed of doubt into Thomas, the CPI driver, to whether he really feels like it's going to be beneficial to trade the DRS with Marco, or does he just feel like he's going to be quicker if he's able to get ahead and kind of, you know, run his own race in P3? It'll be tough, it'll be challenging, but at the same time, you would have to consider that they're going to have to work together in order to try and catch up the NLR guys, because at the minute, they're pulling out a huge gap.
Yeah, I mean, they are pulling out a huge gap. Justin picks up a 3-second time penalty as well, so it's not going well for him at the moment. He's down in 14th right now, so it's not going too well for him this afternoon. But yeah, the NLR drivers seem like they've got this one uncovered. 2.5 seconds up the road. I mean, the Alfa Romeos are doing very, very well.
Absolutely. It's been a fantastic feat for both of them to be able to find themselves in this scenario as early as 7 laps into this race. Not even a quarter of a way in. Fantastic.
Fantastic indeed. So let's see how the rest of this race unfolds. Tony Richet not able to make any moves right now. Currently stuck behind a Ferrari. But as they say, that Ferrari just moving up into 6th place ahead of Nico. Nico will try and fight this one back, but I don't think he'll have the ability to. So let's see if Tony Richet can now close up to the back of the Red Bull and try his luck against Nico rather than Justin. But he makes a huge mistake on the exit of the corner and drops quite a lot of time.
Yeah, it's just these little mistakes which creep in here and there are going to cost him so much here in his rampant run up towards the top 3 here. And again, with that gap ever expanding between P2 and P3, it could very much be a nail in the coffin for Tony Richet's chances to get this Drivers' Championship.
Well, it was already slim, with 17 points being the difference between the two drivers. I mean, it was always a slim chance, but, you know, never say never in Formula 1. We've seen some crazy things. I mean, who thought that Jacques Villeneuve would ever be world champion? Josh didn't.
I didn't. I still don't think he is.
That's a different debate.
Fine, I will die on that hill. I'm more than happy to have a debate with anyone. Please feel free to contact me.
I would agree with you, but I'm a Max Verstappen fan, so I think any move like that is fine.
I mean, it was fine, but besides the point. Okay, let's try and get back into the zone here as Tony Rocher is caught very quickly up to the back of Nick Arrow through that first sector alone, showing he's got a slightly higher downforce setup, or potentially he might have just looked after his tyres just a little bit better. And of course that'll see him fly past with the aid of DRS up into P7. Exactly what he needs to do is we've got more cars battling slightly further back with Rene Climber looking to try and make a move to the inside. He's been able to get the move sorted on Otso at this moment in time, and Mattia as well. But they're at risk of falling out of DRS. If not, they already have, as Otso ends up getting tagged into turn 7 and ends up spinning around. So that'll fall him all the way down to P17. It's been a miserable time for RLS here.
It's not been good, is it? It's not been good at all. So Tony Rocher up into 8th, so it's up into 7th place, ahead of 8th place right now, chasing down Justin Ayerts, who's also on the move. Tyler Freeman still leads this Grand Prix by about 0.3 of a second from his teammate. That gap has come down a bit, Josh, about 2.1 seconds now. It wasn't the 3 seconds it was earlier. Is that because of Tyler's tyre drop-off?
Potentially, but at the same time, you know, you got to consider these two. They'll be working together until they're no longer available to him, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tyler backs up and tries to hold up the field a little bit more as well, to give Zach that little bit of breathing room he's going to need if he has to respond to an undercut, maybe attempt an overcut, but at this time, there's not really a risk, is there? You don't need to force yourself into, you know, covering anything off too drastic or going for a ridiculous overcut. You can just respond to the cars around you, see what they're doing, respond to it the next lap, you'll be more than safe.
But the only thing that stops them now is a safety car. I wasn't trying to will one into existence, don't worry.
No, I'll give it a go. The only thing which could stop NLR from this 1-2 at this moment in time could potentially be a safety car. Didn't work. They've just swapped positions. Well, Zach Miles...
Well, I mean, we tried. We tried our commentator's curse,
sorry,
guys.
We tried.
We gave it a go.
We tried to make it a battle for the lead, but I feel like the battle for P3 is going to be probably one towards the watch list, let's say. We add it into the playlist and we'll certainly be queuing that one up. But there are many other battles happening out on track. We've also got Danico and Justin always having a little bit of side-by-side scrap, seemingly every lap. But they're working their way up through the field on a fresher set of medium tyres, of course, after pitting under that safety car right at the start. They could potentially get themselves a good handful of points here. Of course, championship's already wrapped up, but you might as well do it, have a little bit of fun and try something a little different, a little quirky.
Yep, a little quirky indeed. Try something different. Why not? You know, as you said, championship's already wrapped up. You're not really fighting for any major points here. Just have a little fun with it. That's what I do. Well, I have fun every race. Every race should be fun, Josh.
I mean, I'm a firm agreement of that, but when it gets to this competitive level, a little bit of a fun can be taken out of it. Just having this sort of race here where, you know, you're not competing for the championship anymore. That's wraps up. There's a driver's championship on the line, but if you're not involved in that fight, if you're not necessarily in the hunt to try and close up to the likes of Zach Miles or Tony Rocher, there's no harm in trying something different. There's no harm
3 wide!
A little bit of fun. They're not going to be able to all fit 3 wide through there, as Justin does get a little bit of a tap, loses a little bit of time, a little bit of positions, but both the TTM drivers being able to make the most out of that situation.
Yeah, they certainly did. That was a very tight sort of moment there. Could have been very bad indeed. But it looks like Zach Miles has officially cemented himself in the lead of this race, Josh. And I think that's probably because of the tyre life. And Tony Rocher has disconnected. We now have Tony Rocher bot.
I'll do my best to sort that one out.
I don't know if that's
never mind.
a game feature.
Yeah, that'll be a game feature for a disconnect on track, surely. But unfortunately, don't have Tony Rocher on my friends list, so I can't invite him back in.
I also don't have Tony Rocher on my friends list.
Wow. Unfortunate.
Sorry, Tony.
But at the same time, if the safety car was to come out and the AI would decide now it's going to be a great time to pit it, it might not be too bad, but he is going to be losing touch with the rest of the field here at a rapid rate of knots, to say the very least. Already 2.3 seconds off the back of Nick, and it's only going to grow as the longer that AI sits in the car. As we see another swap for the lead here between the two LLR drivers. They're cooking something up here today.
They certainly are. What, 2.2 seconds now ahead? I mean, they're just cruising at the front, aren't they, Josh? Absolutely cruising. As Danny Coe makes another move, they're up into 9th place. Now chasing down the back of Tony Bot. And Tony Bot is struggling.
Very much so. Not looking like it's the AI has a great turn of pace around this circuit. It's unfortunate, but
like the AI cars yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, as we see, that was Rene Kleinman just getting a little bit too close to the rear of, I do believe that was Justin in front of him, losing touch of the rear of his own Alpine, having a little bit of a slide through that very awkward turn 9, and it's cost him a couple of positions, but he's got to just keep his head down and keep focusing on what he can do in this scenario. And what he can do is provide some absolutely cracking overtakes and some brilliant racing for us here watching at home, as Tony Bot takes a very alternate line there through the final corner, not looking to maximise entry speed or exit speed. So we'll be seeing Tony Bot fall all the way down here to presumably 16th place.
Yeah, Tony Bot probably going to fall to the back of the grid, I would imagine. Yeah. Only 2 cars behind him are... Oh, Justin's disconnected as well, but Justin was already out of the race, so that's fine. So Tyler Freeman into the lead again. Ahead of Zach Miles as these two continue to use their DRS off of each other. Very nice indeed. And I imagine the same sort of swap down the main straight, if I could see it.
Well, we got good news. Tony Roche is back in the server. But is he going to be allowed to take control of his car? Of course, F123, very particular with who's allowed to drive whose car. You've got to show a valid form of ID. You've got to share your passport number, your credit card details to make sure they can accept you back into that seat. And if Tony Roche doesn't have all that on hand, he can find it very difficult to try and reconnect back into this McLaren car. Of course, representing the TF10 team and try and close down. But he's found the papers, he's found the document, he's found the credit card, and he's locked back in. Unfortunately for him, though, down in P16.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gone entirely well. We've got a wheel-to-wheel battle here in the final sector here, Josh. Oh, they've come together. Oh, no, they haven't. It's an AI bug game. Hello? What's going on?
We love to see it, but we've got a
fly around the outside. No, not around there.
Not worth it. Not worth it for Guti to risk it. Let's be quite honest.
No, you do not want to end up in that wall. I can tell you it. It's bad PR.
I mean, it's just very good PR, no?
Well, it depends how you solidify good or bad PR, I guess.
Any PR is good PR.
I suppose, in business terms, you can say that.
Imagine if he sold a shirt.
Oh, imagine.
Could have made so much money off of it.
He would have made so much money. I think he's already okay.
Yes, he was able to recover, of course. You know, he's now at school. He's gone back to university. He's doing law.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah.
It's fantastic rebound Nicholas Latifi's had. Calling it into his racing career and trying to settle down, focus on what he's going to be able to add to his father's business, which to me is very wholesome. He's been able to live out his dream. He's
studying law, isn't he?
Yes, he called it early and thought, you know what, this isn't for me.
He's ready for the court case of Abu Dhabi 21.
Maybe the Massa one, but I don't believe there's going to be a court case for 21. I don't see a reason
No,
for that
I don't see Lewis doing it. It's fine.
No. Too much pride.
Technically, everything was done legit.
I mean, yeah. I don't know why you had to say technically. I mean, it was at the end of the day.
It was, yeah. It just was done badly.
Yeah, it was done a lot of miscommunication. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. To me, on that day, the driver who performed best in the 21 season won the championship.
Agreed.
Well, swiftly moving on from that point.
Oh, now our careers have ended. Let's move on.
Zach Miles, 2.5 seconds up the road now. Teammate dove it in the pits off the soft compound tyre over to a fresh set of mediums. Mediums can make it. Let's be quite honest.
Yeah,
it's very relaxed. It's very chill. Don't necessarily have to stress too much about the tyres. Potentially, Zach Miles looking to dive it in the pits here with his teammates so they can come out together and start working slightly further at the points. And Nordic is asking for the point difference between Richie and Zach.
More than one.
But it certainly is more than one. I do believe it was around 14 14 points, I believe. So, yeah, Richey's going to need something big, to say the least.
Are you going to say, Josh, he needs a miracle?
He needs more than a miracle at this point.
Because that tends to work, apparently.
He needs a hero.
He needs a hero!
Woo!
For a hero till the copyright strike!
I've gotta be fast and I've gotta be quick, cause Zach Miles is into the pits.
He needs a good stop, or he's gonna fall behind. His rivals behind him.
I don't think he will, because Freeman is here to back up the field for him.
He's got the mediums. He's put the mediums on his Alfa Romeo. He's going into the tunnel to come out in ninth. Da, 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 da.
I can't. Why are we
He needs a
allowed
race
here?
win. Da, da.
Well, I mean, he doesn't, but I'm sure he would very much like to end this championship on a race win. As GF10's Maracdos says, exciting race. Yes.
We've just made it exciting with that song. I'm telling you, that was the highlight of this race.
Honestly, mate, terrible. Please, never go again. If you're going to commit to a song, at least commit to making up lyrics on the spot, okay?
I did! What do you think that was?
What do you call
made up
it?
lyrics.
Da, 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 da.
That's the instrumental bit in the middle.
That was poor. Very poor. But we are seeing a couple overtakes being sorted here. Guti getting past Nick, doing exactly what he needs to do to keep his head down and try and focus to catch him back up to Justin, so the two WR boys can get a little bit of an agreement going, a little bit of work together. But Nick going to be looking to try and do something slightly different here, get that move sorted back, heading up into turn 9. Now, turn 9, it's been an interesting corner ever since the change has been made. Ever since that year.
April year.
Hang it around the outside, put it up the inside. It doesn't matter where you seem to go, you seem to be able to always find grip on the exit of the corner.
Yeah, I like that corner now. It's genuinely one of my favourite corners. I really like. It's quite hard to. You know what? It's easy to learn, hard to master. Is the way I'd say it.
I tend to just disappear at that corner. I just go straight on and just go for a little.
You think you're driving the old circuit? That's what the issue is.
Oh,
So is Tony Richey's best shout now to stay out and hope for a safety car?
Yeah. He's gonna need it. You know, there's very few ways he's going to be able to win the championship here.
Yeah.
If he pits. If he stays out and a safety car comes out, he could potentially find himself in a great position. But even then, it still won't be ahead of the like Zach Miles or his teammate Tyler Freeman, who you would assume would go defensive if that scenario comes up.
Well, Zach Miles into 4th, ahead of his teammate now. We'll chase down the tyre wounded Tony Richey in front on those 15-lap-old hard tyres.
We should also probably mention as well that the AI is not nice to the tyres when it takes over your car.
No, it is not.
It
shreds them. It's a feature.
I don't understand how the AI can run such poor lines and then decide to just disappear with your tyres. As Tony Richey does dive into the pits, I believe his mind is set now and just trying to make the most out of this race, not necessarily looking at the championship, and that might be a very sensible way to approach it. Try and build a bit more confidence heading into F1 24 or any of his future endeavours here on this game. But you would think there's not few or far many left to go, as we're getting some of the strangest desync I think I've ever seen before.
This is some horrendous desync on this year's game. I mean, I've not seen this bad desync since F1 23. Oh wait, hang on.
I've not seen it since Wednesday, but nevertheless.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got to
on Friday I saw some desync.
We've got to work with what we've got, and what we've got here is going to be a tremendous battle for what is seeming here to be P3. It seems to be boiling up very nicely, and with Thomas Baldra being the last of these pit stoppers, 4.4 seconds and 12 laps to go, he can very feasibly catch up to the back of Matteo here and try and put a little bit more pressure on, as we do see Justin there moving himself up into P3, getting past Marco. But again, that top 2 seems slightly too far out of reach. 3.1 seconds, and they've got the aid of DRS to bounce between each other.
Yeah, Christ. I mean, I don't see the NLR boys being stopped here this afternoon. Again, the only thing that could stop them, Josh, is a full course safety car here at Abu Dhabi.
Even then, I don't think it is.
No, I think they're too fast.
I mean, we saw it before into the first safety car. They were deploying the battery. They were more than happy to push for tyres to make sure they were able to break the DRS. They know how important it is. They know how crucial it is to be able to get away from the field, separate yourselves, and keep pushing. But again, you know, while we've got this little bit of downtime, I feel like it's only right to say thank you every single one of the viewers, again, who come week in, week out to the chat, have a conversation with us. Of course, we built up some brilliant connections, thinking about the book, thinking about Alex's stupid book, and again, Alex's stupid book.
Everyone loves the book. Maybe I'll bring it out
book.
for one last time.
Maybe. Maybe you can find us an Abu Dhabi fact in there.
Oh, no, there is an Abu Dhabi. I know the Abu Dhabi fact is in there. Well, I've read it several times before.
We can save it until the end of the stream as a goodbye.
Okay.
For those of you interested in the book in chat, because, you know, I sit here, I look through the chat every single week. You know, the likes of Nordic, or quite often come up, Nordic's been a passionate viewer, cheering on the RLS team, who unfortunately find themselves down in P17 and P18, and after Otso got his podium, I was expecting so much bright stuff from the young driver, but he's just had to settle back in, had a little bit of a reality check, and I'm sure he's going to be head down, game on, looking further towards the F124 game, because there's going to be so many opportunities there, so many new leagues popping up, so many different challenges as well awaiting him, let alone the TML league we've got here, again, for console players. But nothing stopping these drivers, if they have a console, they can come and compete as well.
Yep, exactly. It's one of those things that you know, everyone is welcome for these leagues that will be popping up over the next couple of months when the game comes out. Obviously, game coming out, I believe, 31st of May for non-pre-order bonus and 28th for pre-order bonus. I think is what it is.
Yep, certainly.
So you get it 3 days early when the game is completely broken.
Yeah, and I am very tempted. Maze, I can see you in chat. Am I alright to time out Tato for saying soccer?
It's football.
It's football, right? The other thing you call football is hand egg.
Yes. Soccer is the thing that they do in America that isn't football.
Where's Nick going?
Unless... What?
Nick just missed his breaking point. I thought he was just going to go straight line there. I thought his wheel might have disconnected in P6, but he's been able to get back to the circuit.
Do you want to do a Hamilton?
I mean, I certainly hope he doesn't have brake magic on for turn 6 in the middle of a race, to say the very least. But we can start seeing the driver's lights are flashing now, indicated by our low battery percentage. It's not looking too great for a lot of the drivers towards that mid-pack. But that being said, the front three, I'm going to call them here, considering NLR have checked out, as you can see them on your screen here, about to head into turn 1, as the other three are just coming out that final corner. These three here got more than enough battery to be able to fight all the way up until the end of the race. 9 laps remaining. We've got Ferrari and AlphaTauri and a Williams. WR, ABS and ETA.
Anything can happen, Josh. What does Murray Walker always say, or used to say?
Catching is one thing, overtaking is another.
Well, he said that, yes, but I mean, he's
go,
saying,
go, go!
It's go, go! He's saying, you know, obviously, anything can happen in motorsport, and it tends to always something.
Yeah, but this isn't motorsport. This is sim racing. This is like that on another level.
No, this is what did Michael call it? This is we went car racing.
This is This is car racing. This is motor racing.
This is motor racing.
And we're certainly seeing a great display of motor racing here between Marco and Justin. Justin here taking the outside line. Marco not putting up too much of a fight, knowing the DRS can be so strong around here. Just wants to sit in here behind Justin, follow him through this final sector. I'm sure Marco is doing the maths in his head, trying to consider the best possible overtaking opportunity come 7 laps time on Justin. Where he's quicker, where he'd be able to hold off, and surely you would think up into towards turn 9, maybe if he's feeling a little bit brave, on the brakes into turn 6.
Yep, I mean, it's one of those things that will probably happen. I'm looking forward to seeing this battle. They are catching the NLR guys, Josh. It's not impossible.
Yep, it's 3.6 seconds. I don't know.
3.6 seconds. It's not impossible.
8 laps, 3.6 seconds. It's not impossible, but they're going to have to work together very, very efficiently and hope that NLR have some sort of malfunction with their coordination. But so far, NLR have been absolutely stellar.
Yes, absolutely stellar indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can be caught. But I think it's a battle for P3 now. rather than anything else. But yeah, once again, Marco moving himself up into P3 ahead of Justin. Matteo just watching behind.
It's the lurker. And I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of people who somewhat tend to lurk in this position. I quite often find them to be very frustrating because I want to cheer them on. I want to be, yes, go get yourself an overtake, get involved. But that's the last thing they want. They just want to be able to hold back, save up a little bit more battery, just follow the cars, and then they've got a great opportunity, come the dying embers of this race, to be able to get a double slipstream, deploy a lot of their battery, probably from turn 5 all the way down into turn 6, to try and get a bit of a double slipstream to be able to launch themselves into a free wide moment at turn 6. Down the inside of both of them would be the ideal scenario for Matteo, but that being said, turn 6, 7, it can be a very awkward combination of corners. You stick it to the inside of 6, you're on the outside for 7, and vice versa.
Yep, exactamundo, Josh. That's my new favourite saying. Exactamundo, by the way. Do you like it?
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. Never say exactamundo to me again.
Okie dokie.
Chat, can we just go... Can we all unfollow Alex on Twitter at DeathLink10? For this heinous behaviour here for the final stream of EML. I know it was a reference.
What was it a reference to, Josh?
I don't know. I just hear everyone say okie dokie.
It's from the Fallout TV show. Other TV shows are available.
Well, that's the one. You've already told me. I've just not listened to you. Anyway, moving on from Alex's terrible point about an Amazon Prime show, which you can find yourself over... Wait, hold on. Matteo.
Did try to go all the way around the outside there.
Matteo. Hey, yo.
Matteo. Oh, he's still holding it. Oh, glorious.
Oh, cheeky.
Absolutely spicy. Lovely move, that.
You know, the precision he was able to put that car. Fantastic stuff, you got to say.
Just got to be a bit careful going through that in a Williams. They tend to lean towards the walls.
I mean, I feel like the Williams car tends to lean any which way, so it's a good job they're all on equal performance. As I believe a lot of you might be able to tell. I would hope. I would hope that would be evidently clear at the final round of the season.
No, Alfa Romeo are normally this fast.
I mean, they were back in the 50s, but unfortunately...
They were in the 50s. Josh was alive back then, and he remembers it dearly.
I do. It was very fond memories.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. But Matteo calling the bluff on lap 23, getting past both of the cars, putting Marco in that uncomfortable situation of somewhat third-wheeling this potential battle. But Justin doing exactly what he needs to do, just holding untouched, holding in that middle position, potentially giving himself a great opportunity here to try and, you know, get in between here, have a little bit of a muddle. As you do see Otto picking up the fastest lap on a fresher set of medium tyres compared to the rest of the field. If you're already at the back, you might as well go for it. Why not? As Alessandro Poi, as well for PR, sending on a set of boots on that soft compound tyre, looking to try and get himself the fastest lap. We could have a titanic battle for the fastest lap here at the end of the race as well.
So what you want to see? You want to see battles across the whole field, which is why obviously in real life we're having points down to P12 for next season, I believe, is what's actually happening in real life.
Did that get confirmed?
I think Crofty pretty much confirmed it on a Sky broadcast he did. I think it's been voted in by the F1 Commission.
I disagree entirely, but Zach is 17 points ahead. I can clarify that one for you in chat. So Zach would have to, well, have a drastic turn of pace and find a wall, to be quite honest.
And Tony Brichet would need to finish in the top 3.
Yes, he would need to put some turbo boosters on in order to try and catch up and really get himself fixed out after his AI situation with a disconnect. But I do want to mention a new challenger is approaching for this battle for P3, and that'll be Thomas Baldra. 2 lap fresher tyres, just about getting into within the DRS range, probably next lap as well.
I would imagine so. I think he's closing in enough to have a chance of battling for this P3. I say that as unfortunately Thomas Baldra picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, which pretty much ends any chance of him finishing third.
Exactamundo, Alex. Exactamundo.
And also he's dropped off there a lot as well.
Yeah, I do believe he...
I think he might retire, Josh.
Yeah, maybe. He's moved over to the side to let all the cars pass as well, which, if he is planning to retire in the pit lane, the last thing he necessarily want to do is impact the outcome of this race that in all the cars passed, very respectful
Oh.
thing, as he's got a 10-second time penalty there for exceeding track limits. This is worse than a commentator's curse.
I mean, that's like the commentator curse to the extreme.
Have you just cursed him into retirement?
I think I might have done, Josh.
Oh, you're terrible.
I didn't mean to.
Can you do it to Fernando Alonso?
You'd like Fernando Alonso, don't lie.
I like him retiring, but with all
He
that
will
being
never
said,
retire.
we've got two drivers who aren't looking to retire from this race, who are more than happy to run in tandem, putting on a magnificent team performance over the course of the qualifying, and then of course the 25 laps we've seen here as well.
Crash! The Aston Martin and the Haas have collided in the final corner, but it's not going to cause a safety car.
That's fine, man. It's fine.
I've seen that one before.
I can keep bringing up this point. Both Yamaha drivers working brilliantly well together. Tyler having a little bit of an excursion, taken towards the slip road there at the exit of turn 7, heading into it, running it very wide, falling back behind Zach Miles. But you got to say, these two, they've been sublime.
They certainly have, Josh. They certainly have. I mean, you can't fault their performance this afternoon. They have really been on it from lap 1 till lap 25 as we sit on currently. Are they going to have a proper wheel-to-wheel fight there on the last few laps, Josh?
Don't need it. What's the risk?
Well, he's already won the title.
Just stay in formation. It's easy enough to do.
Josh, these are racing drivers.
Well, I've given you my insight from a business standpoint, from a technical standpoint.
Okay.
Just holding position.
From a racing driver's perspective, I want to win this race.
Well, go.
So go win it.
Potentially, it wouldn't be the first time we've heard a driver completely ignore an engineer's calls. Whether that be here at EML or real life either. Again,
Or in Abu Dhabi.
drivers will be race drivers to say the very least.
Yes, they are. They're very much. Yes. They're like footballers in many ways.
Oh, sorry. Let's change our entire vocabulary for the American. Tator, they're like soccer players. They get paid an extraordinary amount of football when they get close to retirement age to play terrible.
Exactly. They go to the league in America, so they get paid a lot of money. Actually, no, that's not true, Josh. We've managed over there, and they don't get paid a lot of money. We've seen it.
They used to.
They used to. Our contracts didn't pay that much.
No. I do hear they've got quite a fair few good young American talents. It's unfortunate that all of them are going to be played to the point of breaking and suffering with tremendous amount of injuries after their college level is done before they can even sign with a professional team.
Yeah. Well, on that morbid note, we'll return to the race here at Abu Dhabi. We're on lap 27. I'll be honest with you, Josh. Not a lot is happening.
No. It's very much just waiting now, isn't it?
It's very much waiting. It's unfortunate because it's it's the final round of the season. Why isn't Brazil the final round of every F1 season? Answer me that question, Josh. Riddle me this.
Abu Dhabi pays more money?
I mean, you make a valid point.
You just got unriddled, my friend. But we are starting to see drivers try and make a couple moves, trying to sort themselves out, especially towards this little bit of a mid-pack, which is formed from P7 down to P11. Drivers going too wide, got a couple already flashing it low on their battery.
3 wide?
Yep, they're more than happy to battle now. They're not waiting for lap 29 or lap 28, they're going for lap 27, as we're going to see the TTM driver there of Aiden send it very deep on the inside there, and but Justin's just held it on the inside there, turning over to turn 7, but again, all the way through turn 8, he's going to be forced for a long way, and Toto Rocher is fully aware of that, making sure he can squeeze his McLaren towards the inside, and now even squeezing it up towards the inside here at turn 9. He's going to get a slightly worse exit here, but you would expect a driver of Toto Rocher's caliber just to open up that steering wheel a little bit more, and well, he's got all the way from P9 to P7 in a matter of a couple of corners. Fantastic stuff from the TF10 driver, climbing himself back up into P7. Might be a little bit too late now, but considering he had a disconnect, fantastic work.
3 cars in 2 corners. That's the way, we like,
Honestly.
Why am I allowed to do this?
I don't know.
This is my job.
Oh, this is terrible.
I'm a professional commentator. Would you believe that?
There you go, top tier motorsports. I'll show you the position changes. We've got ET8 Danny with the most up at 14, but Aiden showing his class once again, gaining 10 positions. Got a couple drivers not necessarily getting the overall benefit of where they qualified, with the likes of Tony Roche, Justin, Thomas Baldra and Nick all falling down the order quite drastically. But with everything being said, they're certainly still trying to put on a brilliantly entertaining fight for us here.
Well, we're on lap 28, Josh, of 29. Zach Miles has just taken the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with Freeman in behind. Are we going to see the NLR drivers battle on the final lap, Josh?
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me. I'm not the NLR engineer. If we do have
Yeah,
an
but
NLR engineer...
I've asked you to make a prediction.
Oh, if you said predict me this, yes, they'll fight.
Predict me this then, Josh. Who's going to win this race?
Zach Miles,
they will fight.
They will fight.
All right. I'm going to guess they're going to fight, and then... Yes.
Exactamundo, Alex. Exactamundo.
Exactamundo. So here we go. Through the left-hander on the final lap here of the final race of the final race. Tyler Freeman chases down Zach Miles here. Now, Josh, he won't go through the first DRS zone, surely, because he'll just get overtaken through the second one. So is it possible to wait here to try and take the lead on the last lap?
No, this is the last lap.
No, I mean take the lead on the last DRS straight. But he's going to pull to the left-hand side. I guess they're not battling. I guess they're just going to work together. Justin's battling, though. Justin takes third place off of Matteo. And he's up into third place. But there will be a second dosage of DRS down the back straight, Josh.
Yes, we're going to have to keep an eye out for that one. But we can see Zach Miles looking to try and get a run on his teammate. His teammate's gone so far over to the right-hand side. Zach Miles was able to reclaim the lead of this race, and you would expect that not to change through the final sectors. We're going to see Matteo trying to go around the outside again, but he just doesn't have the tyre grip, does he, to be able to try and pull it off on Justin here. But Justin's had a huge wobble. Matteo sending us into the inside. A little bit of contact.
Oh, a lot of contact. One's gone wide, one's gone off. He's cut the chicane. He cut the chicane. He cut the chicane round the outside. They are so close to the wall. They're within touchy distance. It's a proper wheel-to-wheel racing in the final corner. How are they still good together? Coming across the line now. Justin Ayaz has gone so wide, but I think he's going to finish third because he's finished it off the circuit. Oh my lord. They went wheel-to-wheel in the final sector of Abu Dhabi. Oh, that's a proper ding-dong fight, that
before.
I've never seen the likes.
But everything being said, it's only fair to congratulate our drivers' champion of Zach Miles for the NLR outfit. Fantastic stuff from Zach, being consistent all season. A well-deserved championship for Zach. But again, so many great drivers of the likes Justin Ayerts, Tony Roche, Danico, all come to mind. They've had fantastic seasons here. Justin as well. It's been unfortunate to see drivers fall down the order, but at the same time, it's been brilliant to see drivers flourish. A little bit of close racing is what you're seeing there, Axe. A little bit of close racing.
A little bit of close racing. It's the final race of the season. Come on.
Ruppert is racing. Give him a break.
Ruppert is racing. Give him a little break. No one's car's damaged. No one crashed out. It's all a bit of fun.
Absolutely. As we're going to see Otso doing the final lap here. Is he going to get fastest lap?
Let's find out.
He's got a 1:22.4 to beat. Okay, he's not. Never mind. Alright. Well, we had a luck. But everything being said, Nick picking up the fastest lap.
Otso, why isn't the race ended?
Because Otso's not finished.
Oh, okay. Oh, Nick's crashed on the line.
And Otso's decided to do a donut instead of finishing the race. Couldn't even do a donut without crashing into the wall. Anyway, let's move on swiftly from that one. Also, finishing P16, but there's only one real winner here today. And it's not ET8 Danny, unfortunately for him. It's the NLR outfit. Working together brilliantly. Utterly fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. They did a great job, didn't they? Not he. They did a great job. I mean, if you could both give them the race win, you would, wouldn't you? I mean, they arguably both deserved it. But in the end, our champion won.
Yep.
And that's what champions do.
It was absolutely fantastic.
What was that?
What was what?
Oh, it's fireworks. I'm so confused what that noise was. There's a firework in the game. Jeez.
I'm currently just trying to do something. So, I'll tell you what. Give us the order.
I will give you the order. So it's Zach Miles who wins the race from Tyler Freeman, Justin Ayers in third, then Matteo, Marco, Tony Richey, Danny Coe, Aiden, Guti, and Justin Rowley at your top 10. And then it was, how do you say that name? The Finnish name? Is it
Alexi.
Alexi, then Rene, Mattia, Nick, Thomas, Otso, Danny, Alessandro, Jensen, and Dustin Vincent round out your top 20, Josh.
Yes, absolutely. And by the looks of it, we could potentially be getting Zach and... Yeah, okay. Right, hold on. I'm going to have to sort this one out. But we will be getting Zach and Tyler in here to have a lovely little interview to finish the season. So let's see if we can find them somewhere to chuck in. Well, actually, no, we might have to move. Right, here we go. Let's move it down.
Move it.
Hello, Zach? Tyler?
Hello.
There we go. Hello.
Zach, you're supposed to push stock.
No worries. I mean, firstly, congratulations on the 1-2. Working together that effectively. It seemed second H to you guys.
Yeah, well, we put in a lot of time before this race. Obviously, it's the last race of the season. We wanted to make sure we at least got something out of the season. Me and Zach worked beautifully with Zach leading the way and me just kind of being his little minion, giving him DRS and a softs, pushing as much as we can, and it worked out in the end.
Yes, absolutely. Are having a little bit of a technical difficulty here with Zach, so it's only fair. I suppose we start with you, Tyler. I mean, you know, surely that's going to have to build up your confidence moving into next year's game. I say that as it's a couple of weeks away from us. Surely.
Yeah, well, I will probably be stepping back from racing into next year's game. Sorry. It's been fun, but a lot of it's not fun. This is obviously a bit of an exception, really, this race, because me and Zach were just so dominant. But we'll do a few more races, and I'm probably going to see it out and move to more of a full-time engineering role as I'll see fit.
Okay, I mean, if you're talking about ways to exit the scene, I suppose there's no better one than securing a 1-2 with yourself and your teammate, helping him win the Drivers' Championship here. Very well done, Tyler. As Zach is still currently server muted, so if Maze is watching the stream, can we please unserver mute him? We would like to talk to our
It's because
Drivers'
the channel's push talk only.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, or at least for us.
So that's an interesting choice.
Well, Zach is now currently panicking to try and rebind his keyboard. I mean,
Just hold your keyboard down, Zach. You'll find the right button eventually.
all of them. Just
It's in settings.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's
I mean,
do that.
Alex, do you have any questions for Tyler?
Not really. I mean, it was a pretty dominant performance, wasn't it? I mean, there wasn't really a lot else you could have done to improve that performance. So was there any point during the race you were worried, or did you feel like you guys had it under control?
We had it under control. We were even with the
Right.
gap. Oh, hello.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Even with the gap, we
Hello.
were making sure we didn't stop pushing. We were checking gaps every corner almost. I had Zach going 4.4, 4.5, 4.8. It was. We didn't stop, and obviously it showed results.
Certainly did. Well, Josh, carry on the interview, mate.
Well, Zach, firstly, congratulations on the 1-2 for NLR, and also congratulations on the Drivers' Championship.
Thank you. Very much appreciate it. It was what a great way to end the season, eh? Really good teamwork with Tyler. Pace was great, and yeah, couldn't have gone much better, could it?
I don't know. You could have been like another 5 seconds ahead of everyone else if you're going to be very critical of yourselves. But no, overwhelmingly a brilliant performance from both of you. You're going to be taking the trophy home. Are we going to see a post on social media with the trophy?
Oh, you'll definitely see a Twitter post with a nice picture. I'll tell you.
Brilliant.
But yeah,
Lovely.
I'm really pleased. Thank you.
Yeah, and also moving forward to F1 24, does this build confidence for you moving ahead?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because last few weeks I've never felt more confident driving. I feel really quick. I feel like I can compete on a high level, and it's about to go to a new game. But yeah, I'll be really pleased if I can continue this momentum onto the next game. Obviously, Season 7 looks quite interesting, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure having you both in the interview room. Fingers crossed you're able to put up a great challenge for Season 7. But then again, we've got some very strong competitors here as well. So fingers crossed for both of you. And fingers crossed for you, especially Tyler, moving over to an engineering role. It can be difficult, especially considering the sort of carnage we saw today. But regarding that, it's been a pleasure speaking to both of you. Once again, congratulations on you won too.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Trying to find the NLR channels.
There you go. Yeah, no worries. You found Discord. It's okay.
There we go.
There we go. Lovely. I mean, as far as things go, what a way to end the season.
I mean, yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't the most interesting race. We had a couple of interesting opening laps, and we had a decent battle towards the third place towards the last laps. But yeah, I mean, one of those races where sometimes you just enjoy watching a bit of dominance.
Yeah.
And as a current watcher of Formula One, we have to enjoy dominance sometimes while it lasts.
Of course. Now, everything being all set and done, moving into next season, season 7 at EML, who would you say is the team to watch out for?
Well, I would say NLR because they've just done a 1-2 in dom performance. But if they're losing one of their drivers, but maybe he'll be a good engineer. I'm sure he will be a good engineer.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. But I'm not going to put my money on anyone. I'm going to be the fence sitter, Josh.
Oh, okay, right. Well,
Like I was at Abu Dhabi 21.
I'm going to say ET8. I feel like they're going to strike back with vengeance. Of course, they filled in halfway through the season and put up a fantastic performance.
Yeah.
Fair credit to them. Did a great job. But I suppose it's time for that final book fact before we say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, it is, isn't it? This is it.
Go on, man. Alex, can you please give us a book fact about Abu Dhabi?
I'll find you a book fact about Abu Dhabi. I know the one I'm looking for. See if
Here
I
we
can
go.
find it.
Here we go. Hold on.
Everyone, just prepare. Prepare yourselves.
I'm waiting. I'm ready.
I've got to find it now.
Oh, dear.
I think it's early on in the book, or it might be later. I don't know where it is. Hang on.
Dear. Honestly.
Oh, there he is. I saw it.
Oh, okay. What
Right.
is it?
In the last season of 2021, Max Verstappen clinched the title from Lewis Hamilton in the last lap of the last race in Abu Dhabi. This was the young Dutch driver's first title.
First of many, as it seems. But with that being said, it is going to be a goodbye from myself and Alex here at EML. Make sure you do check out the TML, which will be starting in the new year. And then, of course, we've still got the PlayStation division, well, the console division, I should say, still yet to come. So don't forget to check those out. But as far as it goes for myself and Alex, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we'll catch you around in the space another time. But until then, goodbye.